Annie Cooper from TuneIntoFitness.com here with Betina Gozo, Nike Master Trainer and winner of Women's Health Next Fitness Star. So first I want to ask you, were you always into fitness or was it kind of like a new thing for you?
Kind of new. I was actually playing in a band for a living for about 5 years, but I was a dancer in high school. So naturally I thought I was in shape and thought I was like super strong because I could dance around with a bass guitar every single night, but it wasn't until like my roommate took me to a workout class where I realized quickly that I was very out of shape.
What class was it?
It was a boot camp class somewhere in Chicago.
High intensity?
Yeah, high intensity boot camp style. Like we had to do athletic movements, push weight over my head, and I was like, this really sucks.
So how did you transition from like the working late nights at bars, playing music or whatever it was, to waking up really early and having to get a workout in?
Yeah, in the beginning it was really tough, but I was playing at that point, I think, in the band for 3 years. And I got my certification, started to teach at different gyms, studios, started taking on clients. Then I was noticing like how taxing it was to stay up till 3 a.m. And then later on I would like start to coach at 5 a.m. because clients usually can only work out at 6.
Before work and things like that, yeah.
Exactly. So then it was starting to get a little taxing, and then I started transitioning a little bit more, and then, getting more clients. And then one day I just told my band, like, you know what, I love training more, and I think I'm gonna do this full time.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you started working at Nike first before doing the Women's Health.
Yes, before the Women's Health Next Fitness Star.
So how did you get involved with Nike?
Yeah, so it's funny, I get this question all the time.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So there was a woman that was taking my class for a while, and apparently she found out about me through another trainer, and a trainer that was a master trainer already. So she started coming to my class. I didn't know she worked for Nike, and then one day she just came up to me and was like, hey, I work with Nike Women's Training. I'd love to take you out to lunch. And then when I went out to lunch, she offered me a contract, which was very surprising. And I thought I was getting punked. I thought was waiting for Ashton Kutcher just pop out and be so it's been amazing. The past 5 years with them has just been such a great partner.
So what is your exact role there within the company?
So I work as a Nike Master Trainer, and depending on where you're located, you typically work with the territories. So Chicago, LA, New York, they utilize their trainers to work events and do this and do that. And since I was in Portland for a few years, I worked a lot with behind the scenes. So I do a lot of stuff on the photo shoots, behind the camera, working with athletes in front of the camera. I help develop content for the Nike Training Club app. I'm also featured in the Nike Training Club app. So there's just a bunch of different things that I work, and whatever they feel like they can utilize us with, they'll bring us along.
Was it hard over time to kind of get outside of your comfort zone being on the camera more? Because you were on with the Hallmark Channel, you were with Nordic Track, you were on a couple different things.
Yeah, actually, no. Only because since I was 16, my mom always put me in front of the camera. I had a modeling agent, so I did modeling, and then I also took acting classes when I was younger.
So you were a little bit used to it.
Yeah, and honestly, with performing as a band, I was just used to being in front of the camera, used to performing, and it was definitely a transition for me to become myself on camera versus acting as someone else. So I think that was where the transition
But that helps a lot when you can show your true personality and things like that.
But I feel like I cared more,
I get what you're saying.
Myself.
Yeah. So, kind of how is your day-to-day as far as training, nutrition, things like that?
Yeah, my day-to-day is crazy. It's always different every day. I mean, I travel a lot now. Before, when I was training full-time, I would wake up at 4 and I would go to teach class. I would train a client, and it was very consistent, and I had my routines. But as of late, I've been traveling nonstop. So the one thing that I do keep consistent every day, which is very important to me, is meditating for at least 5 minutes. But I try to do 15 minutes every single day. So that has been something that I can wake up to and just be like, okay, this is my time for myself. I don't care where my crazy day takes me, but this is
you always
my
have time for that.
Yes.
Great. So how is your training? What type of training do you do? Do you hypertrophy, conditioning?
Yeah, I love strength training. So barbells, kettlebells, dumbbells, I'll throw them around. I love them.
And that's how you train your clients as well?
Yes and no. It depends on what they need, but typically I'll incorporate strength training because everyone could benefit from it.
Right. So now you're more focused, like you said, on the online training. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, because of my travel schedule, I came up with 3 different programs that fit for my 3 different types of clients. So I have one that's particularly all body weight. So the person that's maybe getting started or they're really busy and just need to have something every single day. Then I have one that's just basic dumbbells. So if there's someone that's just going to do workouts at home, it's their workouts. And I have more of a, I wouldn't call it an advanced program, but more of a full gym program where they can use kettlebells, barbells, use a treadmill. And that one is a it's like strength and conditioning workout. The second one is more just like building strength, and the last one is like just like let's get after it and get started.
So there's a little bit of options for
exactly.
everyone. So tell me a little bit about the Women's Health Next Fitness Store, that competition and kind of how it went.
Yeah, oh my gosh. I remember the first year they came out with it 5 years ago, or now it's 6 years ago, when I first became a trainer. So I only had like a year or two under my belt, and I was like, one day maybe I'll enter that contest.
Yeah.
And then I remember the winners, watching them over the years. And then the third year, one of my really good friends, Nikki Metzger, won. She's also a Nike trainer. Okay. And then the last year the one that I won, the year that I won, I finally entered. And I remember the day I got the email, I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. Like, I can't believe that they're like even considering me as a contestant. And then when I won, I actually cried.
Oh my god, I would too.
I cried. I remember they said my name, I started crying, and they were like, are you okay? I'm like, I'm just really happy. So,
what did they make you do for the competition? What determined the winner?
Yeah, so, well, a lot of it was in the beginning where they had us submit. We had to submit our training philosophies and things that we really liked. And it was supposed to be like you had to come up with a new workout. So whatever your training philosophy was, or whatever kind of style of training you did, you had to submit, put a video together. Then you filled out a bunch of forms. Yeah. But then when we actually did the contest, we had to film videos. We did a bunch of, I think, just promotions online, and it was just like it kind of like happened super, super fast. Like, I remember just like a blur. I can't even remember. That was only last year, which is crazy. It
How
feels
long
like
was the process? Was it a couple of weeks or?
So I remember we flew out to New York in February. They announced it in April, like they put out the cover with everybody on it in April. Like, we weren't allowed to tell anyone until the cover came out. So I remember when I was in New York, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. And then July was when they announced the winner. So February to July was like the whole experience. And then I got to publish a women's guide to strength training.
Oh, that's amazing. So you had a couple pages and a whole spread.
Yep, a whole spread, and then I got to publish this like amazing workbook I'm like really, really proud of it. So I'm really excited for people to people are still.
Where can they find it?
Womenshealth.com.
Womenshealthmagazine.com. So do you think after doing this competition and winning, do you think your life changed a lot after that?
Yes, it was crazy. I feel like all of a sudden I won that, and then all of a sudden Nordic Track started working with me. The Nike stuff just kept like. It was just kind of a weird scale where all of a sudden I feel like the trajectory just kept going. So I'm so thankful every single day for all the opportunities. I'm like, this could just be taken away from me at any moment, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm trying to do what I can to
So are you now at the level to where people are just reaching out to you and you're kind of saying like, do I want to do this? Do I want to do this? Or do you have to really, do you have to apply to things, or it's just kind of people reaching out?
It's been kind of just coming to me, which is really great.
Okay.
I am eventually, there are times I have to turn things down just because my schedule is so crazy.
Yeah.
But I love to just, meet new people and be part of it all. And yeah, it's been kind of nonstop. But I always try to be really true to my brand because, with social media nowadays, there's so many sponsored posts and stuff. So I try to make sure it aligns with my brand because I don't want to promote something that I wouldn't use personally or I don't believe in.
And you also have a foundation, is that correct?
Yes!
Tell me about that a little bit.
Yeah, so I just started the Dance with Money Foundation, which is a organization that benefits special needs kids in Kenya. Aww. So I never thought I would start a nonprofit, but I volunteered early last year, and I just fell in love with these kids, and I just found out that they didn't have any volunteers for special needs, and I figured because of the reach that I have, I figured it was a really great opportunity to really push and spread this message. So I think if anything, like this women's health contest and working with Nike has just given me an opportunity.
It pushed you to do more.
Yes, exactly.
That's amazing. So a lot of people struggle with, like, some people want to get certified and they don't know what the next step is to becoming a trainer or becoming in the fitness industry. What would your advice be for them?
Yes, never stop learning. Like, that's always the number one. Like, just because you get your ACE or your NASM, that's just the beginning. It's almost just like that step in the door. If you can get someone that you can work with to, get mentored by and watch their clients, you have to grind a little bit and train those clients like early in the morning, in the afternoon, and
do what you don't want to do.
Yes, do what you don't want to do until like you get to a point where you're like, okay, I think I'm good now, and I can be a little more selective. How
long did it take you to get the experience where you felt like, okay, I got this?
I feel like I'm still like that, but like even when I surround myself with a lot of really amazing trainers, and I always want to have questions. I never want to be the smartest person in the room. Yeah. But I think it really took me 2 or 3 years to really feel very confident. But I mean, even still now, like I hang out with some of these Nike master trainers that work with top athletes like Serena Williams, and I'm like, well, why did you do that? And just the questions are endless, and that's where I want to be, and to continue to learn all the time.
Constantly learning.
Yes.
So is that where you see yourself in the future, continuing to do this, but just expanding?
Yes.
Do you have
I just
any
want to keep growing.
goals and plans for later on, or projects?
I feel like I don't know if I should say this out loud, but one of my goals is always to be like the nicer version of Jillian Michaels.
Aww. No, I like that.
Because she's had a reputation for being just like really hard and whatever.
Yeah.
So because I'm so positive, and I goal is just to like be able to touch everybody's lives in the best way I can.
And that comes with time, of course.
Yes,
but it's
exactly.
definitely possible.
Yeah.
So another thing is people are always interested in what diet do you follow, what
Yeah.
training do you follow. So tell me a little bit about, let's say, one day. What would you follow as far as diet?
So I'm all about eating clean.
Yeah.
Like eating real food, but I love desserts and I love all the
too.
goodies, right? A cupcake, oh my gosh,
Yes.
I'm just like obsessed with cupcakes.
Donuts.
Yes, donuts, I love it all. But in the morning, I typically fast on days that I'm not working out.
Mm-hmm.
But the days that I'm working out really hard, I eat all day.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm gonna eat in the morning, it's typically yogurt or like an avocado toast,
Mm-hmm.
anything that's gonna give me some fat, but I need some protein in there.
Right.
So a little bit of egg with my avocado. But breakfast isn't usually I actually love breakfast, but I don't, because I usually working in the morning, I'm usually eating lunch.
Right.
But like my go-to lunch is usually like a smoothie bowl that I either make on my own or I get
Ooh.
somewhere.
Yes.
Yeah, I love fruit, but I always have to make sure there's protein in there.
Uh-huh.
So if I add protein, it'll be pea protein, hemp protein, or I'll make sure there's chia seeds and hemp
So
seeds.
you don't do whey?
I don't really do whey. I
Good.
think it doesn't really go very well.
I'm
in
the
my stomach.
same
Yeah.
way. I think it's the whole dairy part of it. And
exactly.
Yeah.
Agreed. So I usually stay away from it. Like if it's the only option, I'll put it in there.
Yeah.
But usually, if it's on my own, I'll put Vital Proteins as my usually go-to.
Yes.
With the collagen peptides. And then for dinner, I always love to make just like sweet potato, kale. I love like kelp.
Ooh,
Like sea
yeah.
vegetables. I don't know what it is about it, the texture or something. I'm just
So do you put that on top of like salads or something?
yeah, salad.
Yeah.
I usually do with like rice and quinoa and like put some amino acids, or not amino acids, those Bragg's aminos.
Yes.
The soy alternative.
The liquid aminos.
Yes, liquid
Yeah,
aminos.
yeah.
I'm like, what are they called?
I use that all the time.
Yes, I love that.
Stir fries,
Yes,
everything. Yeah.
everything. And then any other concoction of spices from Trader Joe's I can find, I'll stick on there.
Oh, Trader Joe's is the
I know, they
best
really
for
have the
everything.
best.
So do you incorporate cheat meals into your diet, or do
Oh,
you kind
yeah.
of just, you do?
I
Okay.
do. Well, there are certain days, like usually on the weekends, especially because that's when my friends can go out or will go out. Those are usually like my cheat days. Like I'm just not even going to think about what I'm eating. I just kind of go for it. It's kind of like a nice reset.
Yes.
But throughout the week, I'm usually very, very clean.
So you don't track macros and you don't count calories, right?
No, I
so you
don't.
kind of go based on how you're feeling, make
Yes.
sure you get your water in,
Exactly.
things like that.
I'm always all about feel. And it's interesting because I know on those days that I get the cheat meal, that's usually when I feel the poopiest.
Yeah, and the next day
Yeah,
too.
the next day, yeah.
You
'cause
kind
I
of wake up bloated,
Yes,
bloated water,
exactly.
things like that. Yeah.
So that's why in general I try to eat healthy because I know it makes me feel better.
And do you do any type of cardio regimen each day or
Ah,
each week?
actually,
Or do you-
no.
So it's more strength
It's
training.
more strength training, and if I'm going to incorporate cardio, it'll be some sort of complex. So kettlebell swings to an overhead press, just making sure I'm working with lightweight and moving really fast through the exercises.
So your training sessions, what are about like an hour, but it's very fast paced?
Yes and no. So if I'm doing strength training, it'll probably be anywhere between 30 to 45 minutes. Actually, none of my workouts really are longer than 45 minutes, but I spend a lot of time doing mobility before and after.
So foam rolling,
Yes,
stretching.
foam rolling, stretching, all of that. I probably spend at least 10 minutes warming up and then at least 10 minutes at the end.
So you think it's more important to foam roll before and after?
I usually
Versus-
foam roll before and then do static stretching. most.
Okay, people get that confused. Sometimes
Yeah.
they're like, when do I foam roll? How do I
Yes.
foam roll?
Yeah, because when you foam roll in the beginning, you can really just loosen up, increase the blood flow a little bit through your muscles, and it's just it's usually what I put my clients on first thing when they get there.
I think the recovery is a huge
Yeah.
part of it that people don't really think about.
Yeah, exactly.
So what advice would you give to people that are kind of just starting out to get into fitness?
Yeah.
Whether or not they want to be a personal trainer or not, just kind of starting out on their fitness journey
Yeah.
and getting into the gym.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just always remembering where you started and celebrating every single victory every time, because it's so easy to get really excited the first few times and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm crushing this, and then you might have a week that you're just like, oh, I'm sucking. But really just thinking about how far you've come since the first time you've done it is just it's just a nice positive reminder of like how awesome you're doing.
Exactly. So when you're traveling as well, probably the last thing I'll ask
Yeah,
you.
I know.
What do you stick to when you're traveling, when you're on the go, as far as diet and training?
I think the biggest thing for me is the water, like making sure I'm hydrating, because especially when you're traveling on planes, you get so dehydrated. So making sure I'm hydrating. I also try not to drink coffee when I'm traveling. It's weird because of dehydration.
Wow.
Yeah, it's weird. So I'll usually just do like matcha if I will do anything, just because the caffeine content is less, and it doesn't dehydrate me as much. And then I don't know. I just am really, really good about finding the places that will have like the acai bowls, or
so you look it up in advance. You're like, what do they have? I do the same thing.
Yes.
Always look up the menu.
And then on planes, I always bring snacks.
Yeah, that's smart. Protein powder, whatever else. Bars.
I love RX bars, so those are usually my go-to.
Those are great because it's real food.
Yes,
it's not a bunch of crap in it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I totally agree with that part. It's very important.
Yeah.
So if there's one last thing that you wanted to tell to the world, what would it be?
I think the biggest lesson I've learned in the past year, it doesn't necessarily have to do with fitness, is just don't let anyone tell you that you can't be yourself, because you're the only person that gets to be you. So why let anyone take that away from you?
I like that. And where can they find you on social media, website, things like that?
Everything's at Betina Gozo.
Yes, perfect. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.